Alright, we're on our last set of letters now. Ha, waw, lam, alif, and ya. And ha is really the letter that we need to talk about because it comes in a number of forms. And the first form here is this loop. You're going to come down with your pen like this and make a loop inside and then continue on to make your letter. You make the ha in the middle and it appears completely differently. I mean, it doesn't even resemble the beginning shape. And that's why you have to pay extra attention to the ha, because it comes in so many different forms. So here, it comes in this letter. I don't know how to describe this. Almost like a reverse ribbon. The top part being smaller than the bottom part. Okay? And it comes in other formats which the font doesn't even give me. So I'm going to have to show you it in the Quran. And then finally, at the end, it looks like this. Okay? At the end, it looks like this. Now, this should not be confused with this. This is the wrapped ta, which is very similar to the alif, which is shaped in the shape of a ya, which is this letter. This letter can be a ha when it's silent, but it activates as a ta when you add a suffix. So if I was to add a suffix, it would become, for example, a ta like that. So that's called the ta marbuta, okay, or the wrapped ta, and it's actually in the shape of a ha, and it's pronounced as a ha as long as it's alone. Okay. Now, something that is a purely ha alone is without the two dots, like this. Confused? Okay, good. So that you'll get unconfused when we keep seeing it over and over and over. All right. Now, the ha alone would look like this. Alone at the end of the word would look like so, just simply a circle. So the ha is looking like so many different shapes and forms that it's only by constant reading are you going to get used to it. All right. Now the waw we looked at already. The waw is a consonant or a vowel, depending on where it is, and it's really a straightforward letter. It connects from the back, doesn't connect from the front. Okay, so that's not a problem. Now this, you've seen this throughout our reading. And what is it? This is lam alif. This is lam right here, and actually this is the lam right here, and an alif is attached to it. Okay, so it gives you the letter la, or the sound of la. Okay, and it comes in the word oftentimes kalla. All right, nay, negation. All right, and the ya we looked at before. The ya is something that we don't need to go over, but we'll just go over it for the sake of it. It's a tooth with two dots. In the middle, it looks the same. Okay, and the end, it is the ya with two dots. Now notice, you'll note that in the Quran, you don't have two dots. It's just a ya. It just looks like this. Okay, at the end. And if it's an alif maqsura, it looks, which is the alif in the form of the ya, it looks like this, but it has a dagger alif inside of it. All right. So this is where sometimes the lettering gets a bit tricky. All right. Let's get to our surah, Surah Al-Zalzala today. All right. Here you have Surat, Sin, Waw, Ra, Ta Marbuta. Remember all these. This little design here. This. That's all just for decoration. And this dhamma is almost redundant since you have the waw already. You don't need a short vowel and a long vowel. This is also just a shape for decoration. Ra, Fatha, Ta, Marbuta. And this is a good example of a Ta Marbuta because this is what gives femininity to a word, the Ta Marbuta. And if you say this pronounces by itself, it's Surah. But once you pronounce it together, it's Suratul Zalzala. Alright, Suratul Zalzala. And then you have Alif, Lam, Zain, dot, Lam, Zain, dot. This is the dot for the Zain. And then Lam, Fatha. And then this is also, this shape, you've probably seen this shape in calligraphy. That's a ta marbuta, but they just opened it. That's all it is. It's ta marbuta, it's a wrap ta, okay? But they opened it just for the sake of making it look nice. That's all it is. Alright, Suratul Zalzala. إذا زلزلت الأرض زلزالها. إذا ألف ذال ألف. Alright? And remember, this is, it technically means if, but it doesn't mean that in the language. In this respect, right here, in this context, it means it evokes a time. So when when the earth quakes in its final earthquake, or when the earth quakes in its final shaking, or its final quake, all right, which is the last quake before Akhiru Zaman, the quake that kills all humanity on the earth, right? And that's something we believe in regarding the end of time, is that the actual moment of the end time occurs in a quake that shakes the entire earth and kills everyone on it. Okay? And then nothing in existence remains on this earth for a long period of time until the blowing of the trumpet. Okay? And that blowing of the trumpet revives all the souls. And then the souls enter into all the flesh of people revive, and their souls fly into their flesh again. All right? And they're given new bodies. And then human beings are running around on the earth basically in a state of chaos until the next, this would be the third blowing of the trumpet. Okay? And that blowing of the trumpet initiates the actual resurrection. The actual judgment. The first blowing of the trumpet occurs in the final quake. Okay? At the moment of the final quake, the trumpet is blown, and the earth quakes, and that's the end of life on this earth, and hayatud dunya as we know it. Okay, and this is either, and zayn, this is zulzilat, zayn, lam ta, zulzilat, and obviously we're going to get to the short vowels eventually. And now here, al-ardu, alif, lam, alif. There is an example of al-ardu. Alright, ra, dad. So there's your lam alif. Al-ardu. Zilzalaha. It's earthquake. Zilzalaha. And this is a pronoun right here. Alright, and here you have your ha in the middle of the word. There's your ha in the middle of the word. Zilzala. Next ayah. وَأَخْرَجَتِ الْأَرْضُ أَثْقَالَهَا. And the earth removes its burden. You notice here this word? Al-ard. It comes a lot in the Quran. The word al-ard. Al-ard appears in the Quran 444 times. So you might as well get used to looking at this 444 times. So get used to looking at this word. If you're going to read the Quran 444 times, Al-ard appears in the Quran, and it refers to this earth that we live in. Al-ard. Okay? Al-ard. وَأَخْرَجَتْ الْأَرْضُ أَثْقَالَهَا. And the earth throws off, casts out its burdens. And what are its burdens? What is the earth burdened by? Okay, it's burdened by all the crimes that occurred that went without justice being established, that no one was the witness to those crimes except the earth itself. Okay, that's what the earth is burdened by. And you notice here, ha, again, this is a suffix which is a pronoun referring to al-ard. Akhrajat, cast out, and you know these letters, wa, alif with a hamza, kha, ra, jim, ta. Akhrajat, al-ardu, al-ard, okay, the earth, athqalaha. Athqal are burdens, literally weights, burdens, and ha is the suffix for its, feminine, athqalaha. وَقَالَ الْإِنسَانُ مَا لَهَا. Qala, of course, appears in the Quran more than any other word. It appears over 800 times, about 805 times. Qala. So you get used to this word too. Qala. Alright? Said. Alright? Said. And who said it this time? Al-insan. Here's another lam alif. Alif. Lam alif. Noon. Seen. Dagger alif. Noon. Ma laha. What's wrong with it? He says the human being. Human beings never seen the earth behave like this before. Alright? So the human being is just shocked. What's happening with the earth? Alright? Yawma idhin, on that day. Yawm is the word for day, and idhin is a suffix you add to it to describe it as an era. Alright? On that day, or as a time period. On that day, okay? Tuhaddithu, that's ta, ha, dal, and tha. Tuhaddithu. Tuhaddithu means it informs, right? Akhbaraha, its news. On that day, it informs of its news. It tells all right? All that occurred that went without witnesses. All right, that was unjust. Okay, أخبارها. Alif, Kha, Ba, Alif, Ra, and here's your Ha. That's a Ha right there. Okay, there's another Ha. بأن ربك أوحى لها. Right. Reason being is because Allah inspired it to. All right, He will inspire it with, in other words, command it to inform everyone openly on every crime that happened, right? So that everyone knows what happened and the ledger is clean, right? The slate is public, right? And the all justice can be served. بِأَنَّ رَبَّكَ, your Lord. Of course, this word is another high percentage word that you would see almost maybe on every page. Ra-ba is Lord, ka is your, right? رَبَّكَ أَوْحَى, inspired, laha, to it. It, this is the suffix for the possession, feminine, to it, right? يَوْمَئِذٍ, on that day, يَصْدُرُ النَّاسُ, people will come forward. أَشْتَاتًا, separated, right? أَشْتَاتًا, everyone is in separate groups. أَشْتَاتًا لِيَرَوْا, so that they can see أَعْمَالَهُم, their deeds. Hum is the suffix for their. And there's your ha again at the end of the word. Right? Yawm. You should know now this, I mean this word is very popular too. Yawm. So ya, waw, mim, hamza under the line, and then dhal sound. This is the dhal sound. Ya. Right here. This is the ya sound. Sad. Du. Dal with a dhamma. We'll start introducing the short vowels. We might as well. Dal with a dhamma is du. Ra with a dhamma is ru. Yasduru. Yasduru. An-nasu. Sin dhamma su. An-nasu. Right? Alif, lam, noon. There's a tooth for the noon. Alif, sin. An-nasu. Ashtatan. Alif, or hamza on the alif. Nothing. This on the sha here, on the sheen, this symbol right here indicates that there's no vowel sound. So ash, ta, tan, liyaro, lam with a kasra, li. All right, ya, liyaro, liyaro, and this is a silent alif indicating the plural. We'll cover that later. A'malahum, their deeds. A'malahum, their deeds. A'malahum. Right, again, ha at the end there, or in the middle of the word. That's how it's written in the middle. Ha. Faman, fa with fatha. Fatha is the short vowel for Faman ya'mal, ya, ayn, mim, lam. Ya'mal. So whoever does mithqala, the weight of an amount. Right? Mim, tha, qaf, alif, lam. Mithqala. Dharratin, a dharra is the smallest amount of something on the earth. A dharra is the word that the Arabs gave for the smallest weight possible in existence. The dharra. So in the past we call it an atom. We know now the atom is not the smallest, but in the past they used to call it an atom. Dharratin khayran yarahu. Alright? Whoever does these atoms' weight of good, khayran, he will see it. Yarahu. So that's the, right? The fatha, the. Ra, fatha, ra. Ta. And here's the example of the ta marbuta. Okay? So if you pronounce this by itself, you would say dharra. However, when you continue, you say dharratin khayran yara. Alright? And that's kha, fatha, kha, and then ya with a sukoon. No sound, so khay, and then ra with the alif, khayra. You pronounce this tanween khayran yara, and notice this ha, right, is the suffix of possession, right? So it's not like this ha. This ha is the feminine ha, which is the ta marbuta for the feminine, and this is the ha of suffix possession. All right, yarahu, he sees it, or sorry, not suffix possession, but a suffix pronoun, and we'll study all that later. but that you know the difference, that sometimes it has two dots and sometimes it doesn't. So if we were to continue with this, you would say yarahu wa man ya'mal, right? So there's no ta there. There's no two dots there. You don't pronounce any ta. Wa man ya'mal mithqala dharratin sharran yarahu. All right, and again, this is the same, pretty much the same words. That the meaning is, and whoever does an atom's weight of evil, shar. This word shar here is evil. Yarahu, he will see it. This ha here being the suffix pronoun of it. All right, whoever does an atom's weight of evil will see it. Let's talk about for those who are on tajweed, which we're going to get to. All right, and it's layer by layer now. We'll start with the letters, then the short vowels, then the little markings in the Quran, and then the tajweed. Now here, what do you have? You have two dots, two stripes under this dharra, and two stripes under this dharra, right? But here, it's followed by a kha, right? And here it's followed by a sheen. So tanween, when preceding the kha, okay, is going to have idhar, which means you're going to pronounce these tanween. Dharratin khayran yara. Whereas here, it's followed by sheen. So that's going to give you ikhfa. Dharratin sharran yara. And we said that ikhfa is that French nasalized noon that ends up dancing in your nose and not coming out off your lips. All right? Nor going straight into the next letter. So it becomes dharratin sharran yara. Dharratin sharran yara. Okay? So that's called ikhfa. And the tanween, as well as the noon sakina, right? The noon sakina is a noon without a vowel. They have 4 rules: idhar, ikhfa, idgham, and iqlab. So these are 2 of them. Here's idhar, you do pronounce it, dharratin khayran yara. And here is ikhfa, dharratin sharran yara. Okay. So we'll stop here. That was Surah Al-Zalzala, while looking for the ha and the lam alif, which we found a few. And we slowly move on, class by class, and you learn little by little. Wassalamu alaikum.